The feeling of drugs when they hit, baby.
So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Piss-Drunk Fraternity Guy, you got my asshole bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to the side to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, we're so impressed. Lots of chicks in a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. Oh, I just can't understand it. Conquer divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. She rolls in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like a treated guy. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bo's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The fundamental conquer the body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, so let the buggies will quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. You can support this project at patreon.com/Echoplex or at eplex.store. You can get the whole show, including Red Light, a day or two before the podcast hits your podcast feeds. I'm Producer Dave. You can find me on Blue Sky at Plex-Dave, and this is what the people want.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Thank your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Thank your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job. Don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops. 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 Don't hate the cops.
All right. Sometimes I find something and it doesn't really fit in on the docket anywhere. So I put it first. This week I found two. So there's a WWE podcast that is, I'm going to guess AI generated, because, well, this happened.
Millions of fans are making right now. Can you afford it? Maybe. But do you feel like you have to be there? That's the question. And for a lot of people, the answer this year seems to be not quite. The show will happen. The stadium will likely fill up one way or another. What like
So if that isn't like the intro to somebody's album coming up pretty soon, I'm going to be pretty fucking pissed off. I got Friends, is it ableist to make fun of an AI that does that? I don't know. Also, I didn't know where to put this. This is I guess, Donald Trump talking about Don Jr.'s wedding. He's, I guess, not going. You should have got an AI to answer instead.
Are you attending your son's wedding this weekend, by the way?
He'd like me to go, but it's going to be just a small little private affair, and I'm going to try and make it. I'm in the midst. I said, this is not good timing for me. I have a thing called Iran and other things. That's one I can't win on. If I do attend, I get killed. If I don't attend, I get killed. By the fake news, of course, I'm talking about. No, but he's got a very person who I've known for a long time. Hopefully they're going to have a great marriage.
If I was like at dinner, like my birthday dinner or something, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, we've known you for a long time. You're a person we've known for a long time. Jesus Christ. So, now speaking of the Iran war, which he'd mentioned, did you know that the U.S., I guess, where the U.S. is in control of the Strait of Hormuz again for the 9th or 10th time? I don't know. Here's Peter Navarro.
Deal now. Right. Look at what we've done too, Rob. Venezuela, Chinese are out of there. Cuba, out of there. That's the Don Road Doctrine. And the United States military right now controls the Strait of Hormuz, which means it controls the supply of oil, not just to China, but to the entire East. Okay, the Far East, as they used to call it. So
the Far East, as they used to call it. What is wrong? Why are come on? Like the other administrations were full of like rich assholes and monsters, but like I don't know, they were like competent, like bureaucrats in some sort of way. These people are just they used to call it the Far East. Fucking ching chong ding dong, ancient Chinese secret. Here's Brian Kilmeade, a fucking military strategist. He has some military strategy ideas. Jesus fucking Christ.
The next thing you got to do, and I think the president's probably talked about this in Situation Room, do all the objectives at once. Mm-hmm. You go in there and you open up the strait. You go in there and you grab the uranium. You go in there and you take out, eliminate.
You want our men to go in and grab it?
Well, I think they have to.
They think this uranium's just like in a fucking paper bag somewhere that you can just steal.
And then what you also do is, while you open up the strait, you also target these bad actors that have been insincerely negotiating with our group, and then you understand they're all targeted.
But to Ainsley's point, I think that is the pressure that the president is weighing right now when it comes to removing the uranium, is that there could be casualties.
Yes.
And so he's weighing that decision. That's not something that he's going to choose lightly.
The best chance for no casualties is you open up 4 different fronts immediately, simultaneously, with an army that hasn't been paid, with the IRGC, which is being also hurt.
Oh man, hire this guy. Put this guy in at the head of the Joint Chiefs, man. Put this guy in charge of the whole fucking thing. He's like, I don't know, just do all the things that I think we should do and do them all at once. Okay, so listen, I don't know where the fuck the uranium in Iran is, but I'm thinking it's not just like in a bag. I'm thinking it's like in some kind of locked storage device inside of some kind of a fortified facility. I'm not an expert. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just left it on a street corner. Who fucking knows? Man, that guy, Brian Kilmeade, is possibly the dumbest motherfucker on Fox News. Not the most evil, just the dumbest. Up next, we're going to die of a nuclear blast. All of us are going to die of a nuclear blast if Trump does not bomb Iran. Like, these people are all they're all just fucking warmongers. They're so excited that this thing might restart.
Well, first off, President Trump is busting his butt. Does he want the Strait of Hormuz closed? No. But is one who's killed by a nuclear weapon? Absolutely not. So he's doing the right thing by making sure we all don't get killed by a nuclear weapon. On top of that, with China, President's doing the right thing, talking to him, but she's a liar. She's never going to help us with anything. He's killing our kids with fentanyl. He's stealing all of our technology, spying on us. So hope springs eternal. But ultimately, what I think has to happen.
Wait, I thought the fentanyl was coming from Venezuela.
Trump is going to have to go in and bomb the 11 daylights out of Iran to hopefully finally get a regime that wants to work with him and stop this death to America, death to everybody in the Middle East attitude. So it's a tough time, and Biden left him with a horrible situation in Iran and economy, and Trump is busting his butt to fix it.
Yeah, he sure is. And, Senator,
So Iran was just over there minding their own fucking business. You don't gotta love Iran. Sure, they got problems. Every fucking country's got problems. Do I want to live in Iran? Fuck no. The weather. But like also other reasons, but they were just over there minding their own fucking business for the most part. Like, so was Venezuela. Everybody, this is the most courageous though. It's courageous leadership by Donald Trump. Brian Kilmeade disagrees, though. Brian Kilmeade thinks that we should do like all of the objectives at once.
Yeah. This is courageous leadership by President Trump. Even in an election year, he's putting the long-term interests of American people in front of short-term political advantage. That's what leadership is all about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it takes time to build these pipelines, but it's definitely a move that it would nice to see accelerated to make the strait obsolete so that Iran will never hold this card again, especially if we...
An oil pipeline doesn't make what the fuck? No, you don't make a fucking oil. You don't make like a major sea passageway obsolete by building an oil pipeline.
If the regime is left in place. So we'll see where it goes from here. Chris Wright, thank you very much. Always good to have you here.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. Oil, like fucking, I don't know. Oil pipelines. I don't know. Build a pipeline, don't build a pipeline, but it is not going to make the Strait of Hormuz obsolete. It's not just oil that goes through there. It's like stuff for fertilizer goes through there. You can do a fertilizer pipeline, not a poop pipeline. I don't know. Did you know that none of this actually is even hurting the economy? That's what we're going to learn from fucking Hassett obviously on Barry Weiss's CBS Face the Nation this morning. It isn't even hurting the economy. The price of simple things like tomatoes hasn't doubled. Well, that's not really Iran. That's other stupid shit. Anyway, this hasn't hurt the economy. Don't worry.
You don't dispute that the war has taken a toll on parts of the economy.
Right now, consumer confidence is the highest it's been in since the beginning of the year, and so you don't see a toll of the war on consumer confidence, which is the Conference Board survey. But again, GDP now, the Atlanta Fed's estimate.
I've always wondered what the fuck does it even like? What do they just call you up and be like, are you confident that you can purchase things? And you're like, well, yeah, if I have the money, we still, I guess, have the ability to buy shit.
Quarter GDP is north of 4%. We've got initial claims for unemployment insurance as low as they've been since the 60s. And so there's so much going on that is really, I think, surprising people that think that the disruption from the Middle East is going to harm the economy. It's just not there in the data, except for the consumer sentiment data. But I actually think that we should stop calling it consumer sentiment and start calling it political sentiment.
Wait, what? Wait, what? The consumer sentiment is, how is that different than the consumer confidence?
Variable, not an economic variable.
The data on gas prices is pretty.
Consumer confidence is high. Also, consumer sentiment is low, but that's a political measure, actually, because we'll call it the political sentiment. Because that one's bad. Like, come on, these people, they suck so bad at lying. Like, if they're they should, like, why are these people can't even bullshit you? These people suck so bad at even at bullshitting. Okay, so here's the Admiral Brad Cooper, the head of CENTCOM for the U.S. This right here is this is not great. This is real bad, actually. There's all kind of fucking blue sky libs that need to see this because they're like, oh, the military, they'll stop Trump from doing a war crime. Well, here's the head of CENTCOM, being asked about that sort of thing.
I just read it to you. I just read it to you.
Yes, sir.
You're a combatant commander. You're one of our most senior military officers with tens of thousands of service members under your command. Does the Law of War Manual state that it is prohibited to declare that no quarter be given?
It prohibits a large number of things.
No, I've asked you.
And I will follow.
Like, what the fuck? It prohibits. Oh, no, we are so fucked. They got rid of everybody in the military. They got rid of anybody that isn't loyal to Donald Trump. This is so fucked up.
I just literally read the provision to you. Does it prohibit you or anyone else from declaring that no quarter be given? I just read it to you.
We will follow everything that's in the law.
Answer the question, Admiral Cooper. You have tens of thousands of service members under your command.
And
I literally just read a provision from the Law of War Manual, our own manual. Will you not just say what I just read to you?
I will say that we will follow the law of armed conflict to the T.
This is just unbelievable to me.
I find the same thing, sir.
This is just unbelievable to me.
We will follow the law of armed conflict very calmly.
You have tens of thousands of service members under your command. I literally verbatim just read a provision from our own Law of War Manual, and you will refuse to say what that provision says. Will you agree that it is prohibited under our own manual that you and all the people under your command are obligated to follow to declare that no quarter be given?
I will agree, consistent with my constitutional responsibility, to follow the law of armed conflict to the T. And I expect everyone working for me to do that.
This is not leadership. This is not leadership. To not.
Yeah, why don't you just say, yeah, that's what it says. Of course we don't do no quarter. That's a war crime. Next question. Like, that's the answer. I don't know anything about this, but I believe that whoever the fuck this is telling me the law. I wouldn't even have to know what no quarter means. I mean, no quarter, it means you execute hostages instead of keeping prisoners of war.
To say something as basic. The people, the men and women who we represent, who are under your command, deserve leadership.
Mr. Chairman, I object. This is a personal attack. This is unfair.
Wait, how is this a personal attack? It's not a personal attack. And what do you think? A fucking admiral is like gonna fucking just like, come on.
Much as a Navy dad.
This is well within the purview. This is well within the purview of my questioning.
If I may.
Gentleman's time.
I reclaim my time. Can I reclaim some additional time?
I'm going to give you some extra time. Go ahead.
It's our job to make sure the law is being followed. That is literally the obligation of this Congress. I read to you a provision of our own Law of War Manual, and all I want you to say is what the provision says. That it is prohibited, this is the title, this is what the title says, to declare that no quarter be given.
I will follow the law to the T and expect everyone to do the same.
This is extremely disappointing. Our service members deserve far better than this. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. I want to make it clear.
So, like his language around this is a little too flat. Oh, our service members deserve better. It's not like, you were the head of CENTCOM. And if I ask you if you are, going to follow the law regarding prisoners of war, you just say, of course we're going to follow the law regarding prisoners of war. What? The guy's like, we will do all the law things with the law and the law. You're looking around to see if Donald Trump's there ready to fire him or something. Dude, everybody, like, all these fucking people that are like, oh, the military, they're the best, the brightest, and the most honorable. Well, I'm starting to maybe not, I never really thought that at all, but at least they were fucking putting on a show of it before. This guy isn't even willing to put on the fucking show of being like some honorable fucking like a warrior with a fucking good warrior moral compass, whatever the fuck that is. This guy won't even be like, yeah, we're not gonna execute the hostages, because that's what this means. We're not gonna execute prisoners of war. We will keep prisoners of war and follow all the Geneva Convention stuff regarding prisoners of war. That was what the question was. The guy wouldn't answer it. Up next. Did you know that Cuba is now a leading state sponsor of terrorism? Does Cuba have oil? I don't think they have oil. I think it's just that Marco doesn't like Cuba.
Here's what I can tell you. Cuba not only has weapons that they've acquired from Russia and China over the years, but they also host Russia and Chinese intelligence presence in their country, not far from where we're standing right now. So Cuba has always posed a national security threat to the United States. They, by the way, have been one of the leading sponsors of terrorism in the entire region. You look at the groups that work out of Colombia that have destabilized that country over the years, with full support from this regime over there. So Cuba's consistently posed a threat to the national security of the United States. And the other thing that poses a threat to the national security of the United States is to have a failed state 90 miles from our shores run by friends of our adversaries.
So, like, other countries in the world deal with having countries that are, as he would say, right next door, that are friends with people they don't like. Like, those other countries they do this all the time. This is what Marco Rubio is, the Secretary of State. His job is ostensibly to, like, mitigate any problems that might come along with having to fucking, I don't know, get along with other countries. Like, that's his job. What on earth, sir? Your job is to help to ostensibly to get along with other countries, or again, like we were saying about that military guy, at least pretend you're trying to get along with other countries. Like, Secretary of State is not supposed to be like the warmonger. They're supposed to be the diplomat that, like, gives cover to the warmonger by saying, "Well, we tried to do the diplomat." Like, these people, like, why can't they even fucking lie to us? And I mean, fuck the Iraq war and fuck invading Afghanistan. But I don't think there was any intention of any of the people, like, during those military operations to fucking execute prisoners of war. We did that shit in Cuba, which is interesting, right? We called them enemy combatants, though. And we tortured them. Like Barack Obama said, we tortured some folks. Like, anyway, this whole thing is fucked up. When you think about that our torture prison is in Cuba, this whole Cuba thing falls apart real quick. Here's more from Marco Rubio.
Question, if I may, Mr. Secretary, on Ebola. You told us 2 days ago when you stopped by the bullpen that the WHO was a little late, were your words, I think, in identifying this strain. The WHO chief has now responded. He said it might be because you don't understand the global health policy.
Yeah, that's probably correct. Fucking rare W for the head of the WHO. Go. I don't know, man. I've been looking at America right now, and I'm guessing the Secretary of State, whoever the fuck that is, probably doesn't understand international health policy. This is fucking keenly stating the obvious. Rare W by the head of the World Health Organization.
Well, the World Health Organization has unfortunately not done well around the world. I think they failed miserably during COVID. They covered for China.
Wait, they failed miserably? Wait, what? America, the United States, is not in a position to say that anyone else failed during COVID. America was the place where you would die. The most likely country in the world for you to have died of COVID-19 was the United States of America.
That said, we're going to work with anybody who wants to fix that problem. Our number one objective on Ebola, before anything else, and we think it's terrible what's happening there to the people. We've been very involved with DRC on the peace deal with Rwanda and so forth. But our number one thing has to be...
Wait, you've been involved... Did he say with DRC? Does he mean the Democratic Republic of Congo? As far as the peace deal with Iran? The fuck is it? He said DRC, that's the Democratic Republic of Congo, right? What the fuck does the Democratic Republic of Congo have to do with our peace deal with Iran?
United States. We can't have Ebola cases coming here. So you saw we're now not allowing people to come in. In fact, I think we had a flight last night headed to Detroit that was diverted.
What?
Because we have to protect the American people. So objective number one is to make sure that Ebola never reaches the United States.
So I'm wondering what he's talking about there. Is he saying there was a flight with somebody who had Ebola on it, or potentially had Ebola headed to Detroit? Or was he saying that, like, he thinks that people in Detroit have Ebola?
Objective number two is do what we can to help the people.
I mean, if somebody gets Ebola, it's not their fault. It's a fucking disease.
DRC and neighboring countries so it doesn't spread. And I think we're up to 600 confirmed cases. There are probably more. We'll learn more about it. We're providing, I think we've offered to fund the first 50 clinics that pop up and are ready to step forward. So I wish we would have gotten started on this 2 weeks ago, that the alert had gone out sooner. I also recognize that the outbreak began in a war-torn country in a very rural area that perhaps doesn't have some of the support networks that some of the other places have. But again, I want to repeat to everybody, we care about Ebola. We don't want anyone dying or being affected by Ebola. But our number one priority will always be making sure it doesn't come to the United States. That's our number one obligation.
That's a horrible strategy for fighting, for trying to prevent an outbreak. Oh, I don't know. Fucking our number one thing is we don't want it coming here. Friend, the thing that you wouldn't do something different to prevent Ebola from coming to the United States than you would to prevent it from showing up anywhere else. It's a fucking disease. It doesn't know what country it's in. It doesn't care what country it's in. It has no capacity to care what country it's in. There's absolutely no, like, you can't just be like, if you want to prevent an outbreak from spreading, you probably have to pour resources into where it is and hope that it doesn't go anywhere. Not like, oh, we better make sure it doesn't come here to the U.S. It's like, man, that's what a bunch of fucking idiots. A bunch of fucking idiots. So this is weird. This is crazy. Even Newsmax is not buying this Cuba bullshit. Like, I think Newsmax is about to fucking turn on Donald Trump in a pretty significant fucking way. If you think about it, their relationship and their like tying themselves to Donald Trump has not been good for their organization and for their business.
This Cuba thing, Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a message to the people of Cuba today in Spanish. Then Raul Castro gets indicted. I get it. The Ayatollah is gone. Nicolas Maduro is in jail. But now Cuba, I think people struggle with how this is America first when gas is $4.55 a gallon right now.
It is, and you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, Cuba has always been a national security threat. And as you said earlier, we've been negotiating with Cuba.
Hold on, isn't Cuba just, I mean, until like we started like blockading their oil and shit, wasn't Cuba just over there more or less minding their own fucking business too?
Since before I was born, I'm 53 years old. So the negotiations have gone nowhere. Cuba's leader is at the end of his lifespan. The Cuban people clearly, unlike maybe the Iranian people, the Cuban people clearly want a regime change in Cuba. It's just, minutes.
Wow, wait, I thought wasn't the talking point just a couple weeks ago that the people in Iran clearly wanted a regime change, and now this guy's like, well, I don't know, unlike Iran, the people of Cuba clearly want a regime change. I don't know, do they? Also, somebody in chat mentioned this guy's 53. For a point of reference, friends, I'm 49. Fucking amazing. I feel great right now.
Miami and Florida in the United States, so it's a strategic problem for the United States.
But do you really think they're a threat, Mr. Chairman? Do you really think that Cuba's a threat?
Well, if some country went in and loaded Cuba with the same drones that Iran had when we first started bombing Iran, then yes, I think it could be a threat. I don't think that's there. I know John Radcliffe has been on the ground. The CIA's on the ground as we speak, talking to
Wait, you're not supposed to tell people. I mean, you have to assume that the CIA is all up in Cuba's shit at all times, but friend, you're not supposed to just go on fucking Newsmax and be like, oh, the specific man from the CIA is there. Even if everybody knows it. Like, what the fuck?
Officials. I really don't think, Rob, it'll get to any type of military action, but the president's threatening that. He's increased sanctions on Cuba. I don't know how many more sanctions the Cubans can take, especially after what happened in Venezuela. The Cuban American population clearly supports what the president's doing in Cuba. Thus far, it hasn't cost any tax dollars other than to send a...
Is that Cuba? That's Havana? Because sure, that looks like Minneapolis.
That's to Cuba, but at the end of the day, I think that...
Nope, that's Havana. You could tell. Look at that great car.
guard because of the new types of warfare that's out there with these new drones and this new technology.
I get it.
We're seeing
Cuba,
it play out in Iran.
I understand that. Axios had a report this week that the U.S. is concerned, I'm sure you saw this, about a possible Cuba drone strike on Florida. And I'll be... I know that you've got the security clearance to know more about this, but to me, this just sounds like they're trying to make the case to attack Cuba. I don't buy it. It sounds like a false flag operation. Would you...
I don't think it's a false flag. See, the problem is he went, I don't buy it. That's fine. I don't think they're going to do a false flag and fucking send a bunch of fucking drones with a Cuban flag at Miami. This is where he lost me. Oh, they're going to do a false flag. No, dude, they're just lying to you. Actually, they're not going to bother with the false flag. They don't need, you don't need to do a false flag. You just fucking say Cuba was planning to shoot us with drones and invade.
Military action in Cuba if it came to that. And I guess more importantly, do you buy this report in Axios?
Well, I know that I've been one of the biggest critics of our intelligence community over the past 10 years. They're usually wrong. They usually do everything they can to get us to the point of warfare because that's what they like to do, apparently. But at the end of the day, I don't...
Wait, why... It's not really in the intelligence community's interest for the U.S. to bomb somewhere.
Right now supports an invasion of Cuba or anything else. We're hoping that this can turn diplomatically. Again, with the age of Castro and with the economic conditions, the worst they've ever been in Cuba, I think now's a prime time for a strong president to go in and try to change that country.
These people, they want regime change. They want regime change. And then all of a sudden they don't want regime change, right? As soon as they'll, to the extent that maybe they'll try to foment a popular coup or whatever, if the coup doesn't work or if they can't do it, they'll probably just say that the Cuban people are brainwashed or that they're evil or all manner of different shit, right? Like if you remember, like a lot of the justification, at least from like non-religious people for intervention in the Middle East, like when you talk to them on Twitter, you know, they'd be like, I'm an atheist, da, 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 da. And I'd be like, oh, why, okay, that's cool. But why are you supporting military action in the Middle East? They're like, you're gay. They'd throw you off a building. You know, they're going to, some version of that might happen here. It's just like, this is all really stupid. I don't think that the intelligence community, to the extent that there's any way to really know, has any particular interest in the United States taking military action against Cuba. Because if they're over there spying on Cuba all the time and fucking, I don't know, getting fake ass Havana syndrome or what the fuck ever, it sort of justifies their existence. Whereas if the United States' instinct is just to fucking bomb everybody we don't like and kidnap their leaders using the army, then what the fuck is the point of the intelligence community? These people probably want to keep their jobs. Or, I don't know, not get burned, not get like abandoned in the middle of a mission and have to figure out how to fucking survive. This is all really dumb. Up next, so I think we figured out Greenland. I've been being like, why, what's going on? Why does the president want Greenland? Well, here we go.
So I was going to ask you about that reception. Among the, there aren't just strategic interests that the United States has. There are a lot of minerals there. There are a lot of things in Greenland that are, basically untapped resources that the United States wants to help, or that President Trump wants to help develop. How would that development of those resources help those people?
Oh, it would bring wealth to them, just like oil and gas brought wealth to Louisiana, into the nation. The president understands that. He wants a deal. Greenland needs the deal. Greenland could be exporting 2 million barrels of oil a day right now. Think about what that would mean.
There we go, friends. Figured it out.
Think about what kind of pressure that would relieve in the Straits of Hormuz. Think about what kind of leverage that would give the Western Hemisphere and America. Think about the help that would give to Europe right now. And so right now, literally, we could have those barrels on production within 10 months or so. They talked about the mining.
What?
You talk about rare earths. There's a gallium. They believe there's a gallium find there. Those are things that could help the supply chain in the refineries, in the processes that we have in Louisiana. The president is the only.
I don't know. We'll prop up a whole ass oil industry. We'll do it in 10 months. You fucking idiot.
In the last 30 or 40 years to actually care about doing something and putting Greenland on the map.
So
it's on the map. You just showed a map.
Have been special envoy to Greenland for a couple of months now. President Trump has been talking about this for some 6 months. Obviously, a lot of the political class of people get the vapors the way they often do when
they got the vapors. I haven't heard anybody talk about the vapors in such a long time.
Is a new idea about something. Do you get any sense that there are political leaders either in Northern Europe or in NATO or in Greenland who are maybe warming to the idea of what President
No.
I don't know. That's a great question. I really and truly, I think that the most pressure that we felt from a pushback didn't come from Greenlanders, but basically came from the Danes, which is simply disturbing and disappointing. I think it's time for them to get to the table and let's get a deal done. I mean, look, here's the problem in Greenland. 50% of the people are on government jobs. And it's not like if you speak out in favor of the USA publicly and you lose your job, it's not like you can literally drive to the next town. These towns are separated by islands. Greenland is like it's one island inside of 1,000 or with 1,000 other islands inside of it. And that's the important thing to remember. But look, I think the 3 days that I spent there were very eye-opening. It was a great opportunity, and I think there is a deal that can be made there.
And it's a beautiful place to visit. Governor Jeff.
Yo, the people there don't want any of this. Trump was bitching about all the windmills there. I don't think the people that live in Greenland want to just be fucking drilling for oil all over the fucking place. I don't think they want you fucking like strip mining the fucking mountains and shit for minerals and whatnot. I think they, of all people that are over there just minding their own business, Greenland is the most minding their own business fucking place in the world. They're just over there minding. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. What the fuck? They don't want you going in there and fucking turning their country into a fucking oil refinery. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and it's like when they rank the happiest countries in the world, Greenland is always one of them. Oh, half the people have a job with the government. All right. So that means that there's robust public service for the people there. Like, leave them alone. Leave them. They should banish whoever the special envoy or whatever. They should banish the Americans from even tourists. They should just banish all of us from their fucking beautiful country, at least for the time being. Like, what the fuck? Leave them alone. Leave Cuba alone. Leave Iran alone. We have our own fucking problems. And when America goes to some other country to try to fix their problems, we don't fix their problems. We make their problems worse and we make new problems for ourselves. Every time. The world hates us. And it's not Trump. The world hates us. Could we do something about that? Here's John Fetterman. He thinks that the ballroom and the reflecting pool are actually really good ideas. This guy, they got to get rid of it. They got to vote this motherfucker out. This guy's going to get clobbered in a fucking primary.
Works out. So that's why I blame Iran at this circumstances. I certainly don't blame America to hold this regime accountable. And like the reflecting pool in the ballroom, I don't care about those things. I think it's entirely appropriate. I mean,
wait, you don't care about those? I don't care about them either. That's why we should be doing them. I don't give a what the fuck was. I don't give a fuck about the ballroom either. But that doesn't mean I think we should do it.
Assuming that it's not AI, so far the reflecting pool looks good. But if that's
wait, assuming that it's not motherfucker, you work in Washington, D.C. You could go look at it. What do you mean assuming it's not AI?
Dollars, that's that's small. I think President Obama correctly, he invested $34 million to make some upgrades. I mean, America's turning 50 years old. Why wouldn't we want to make sure everything looking?
America's not turning 50 years old. I'm about to turn 50 years old. This guy, come on. I don't know, man. Give this guy a gold watch and a retirement party and get him out of there. Get him out of there. This guy doesn't have any idea what's going on. The man had a stroke and it's not his fault, but come on. He's you gotta, come on.
Great. Right. And now we do need a ballroom. We do. I mean,
wait, why? Why the fuck does there need to be why do we need it? What do you think you're going to get invited?
I think we have, much bigger fish to fry. So I'm saying build it or not. And that's where I'm at. But not just because the president asks for one doesn't mean I'm going to oppose it necessarily.
Well, we're going to be talking.
Friend, the country's approaching 250 years old. Country's not 50. I mean, it is 50 years old, right? Because you have to be 50 years old to be 250 years old. You can't have one without the other. Oh, not to be outdone by John Fetterman. Here's the president of the United States talking about the reflecting pool. I was like, I don't know if the headline on this tweet is correct. They must be exaggerating. Nope, not exaggerating. Check this out.
I'm doing a job on the reflecting lake for a fraction of what they paid. Now I've upgraded it I got so into it. I've upgraded.
Wait, I'm doing a job for a fraction of what who paid?
I'm doing all the walkways outside. I'm doing it properly, but it's a much bigger job. But you see, it's happening now. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to.
One more time.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be waterproof.
It's full of water.
It's going to be reflecting again. Filthy thing that wasn't open, and it was disgusting. And friends of mine would come to the Lincoln or the Washington and they'd say, "Sir, it's disgusting." I said, "What's disgusting?" The reflecting lake.
It's waterproof. Listen, I've heard a lot of things like lakes and pools, a lot of descriptions for lakes and pools, a lot of interesting descriptions of lakes, pools, and other things, but waterproof has just never been one of them. Yeah, I guess the bottom, where the water goes, the pool part has to be waterproof because otherwise the water would all just leak out, at least if it's a pool. Anyway, did you know that the economy is booming in Kansas? This is Senator Roger Marshall saying that Kansas is in a boom period.
Yeah, so certainly we're here to trump the manufacturing jobs all across the state of Kansas. I talked to especially the small manufacturers. Their business is absolutely booming. Kansas City itself home to over 100,000 manufacturing jobs. Think General Motors, think Ford, and Panasonic has a big plant here as well. Garmin is up here. So you think about the vice president's story and Hillbilly Elegy, how the Rust Belt and how they lost all those manufacturing jobs in his home area. We don't want that to happen here in Kansas City, and actually just the opposite is happening now. The working family.
I wonder if some of the stuff he's talking about happening in Kansas City is actually happening in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know enough about it, but that'd be interesting.
Tax cuts has made it much easier for manufacturers to build things. Bonus depreciation is one of them. So he'll be here touting manufacturing jobs, the Trump agenda that is actually working. Maria, I'm telling you that the economy here in Kansas is really set to go forward this year.
Yeah, it's incredible to me that the economy has stayed as so resilient and strong, even in the face of war.
Man, I don't know if any of that's true. I'd be willing to bet some of what he's talking about is happening in KCMO. Not that the economy in fucking Missouri is booming either. I mean, none of these places are California, right? Oh, You know what? We're back to the Trump healthcare plan. I guess we're just going to pass the healthcare plan again. I don't know. That's what he's saying.
And we will pass what we call the Great Healthcare Plan. The Great Healthcare Plan to stop all payments to big insurance companies. The government pays.
Wait, what? Stop all payments? Wait, what? So, is he going to outlaw health insurance or? Oh, Hannity understands. We can put Hannity in charge of it. Here's Sean Hannity. I don't think he meant to say this. Check it out.
The normalization of the corruption, the fact that they would take your money so willfully with complete disregard for your well-being means they'll steal your health, they'll steal your life, Sean.
Let's talk a little bit more on the positive side. The president offering preferred pricing on pharmaceuticals and all the other initiatives that you and Robert Kennedy Jr. have been involved in to really help people out. I mean, for example, certain medications that you would pay for in the U.S., you'd pay, 100, 500, 1,000 times more than what you'd pay in Europe or Canada because they have a socialized healthcare system.
Oh, you don't say.
That's all come to an end, correct?
It's correct. I'll give you some numbers. Almost 1 in 3 Americans, where they go to a drugstore, cannot afford the medications that the doctor sent them there to buy. Part of the reason for that, to put numbers on it, is on average, across all medications that are branded, we pay 3 times more than the same drug sells for in Europe or in Asia. So we're getting taken advantage of. The president said, no mas, we're not going to do that. From now on, it's the same global price. No more global freeloading. Same price here as it is in Europe. We're not price fixing. Pharmaceutical companies...
I mean, literally, that's you described price fixing.
They voluntarily signed in. They're going to use these contracts to drive prices up overseas, so we don't have to pay for everybody in America.
What the fuck?
We have life-saving drugs being made without it being on the back of the American people or the taxpayer. The aggregate benefit of these most favored nation drug prices are about $600 billion, with a B, $1 billion over the next 10 years, and we're putting them all on TrumpRx.gov.
Yep. Somebody in chat was like, you're trying to sell the Trump healthcare plan. Oh, speaking of the Trump healthcare plan, here's an infomercial for the Trump healthcare plan. Here we go. Here's an infomercial for it. Oh, God.
Don't just fill your prescription. Trump or exit. Because the strongest nation on earth, America, starts with the healthiest people on earth. Mr. President, back to you.
Thank you, Joe. Great job. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Really amazing the job you've done, and so.
Oh no, it gets worse. Oh, I mean, it gets worse. All shit libs are like, oh, we should run our own billionaire for fucking president. We should run Mark Cuban for president. Mark Cuban's one of the good billionaires. Well, check this out. These motherfuckers, no class solidarity like that among the rich, let me tell you.
Rx.gov. Mark.
Thank you for having me, Mr. President. I think other than you, I've been the biggest proponent of TrumpRx.com. All
right. Well, that fucking sucks. This guy was getting all this good press. He was doing something independently, right? Where he was trying to pool funds to buy generic medications, and when none existed, to have them manufactured here in the U.S. The good press that he was getting about it said that he was going to pay people well that worked for him, and that he was going to drive prices down, and the people would be able to afford their medication. Nope, all that good press, bullshit, bull fucking shit. Fuck every billionaire. Also, this happened during that infomercial. Because, these people all love staying on message.
Horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly. They paid legal fees that they didn't have. They've gone bankrupt. Their lives have been destroyed. And they turn out to be right. I mean, it was a terrible period of time in the history of our country. and they worked on it. I know the Justice Department, it's really been working on it very hard. There's been numerous other occasions over the years where things like this have been done, but these were people that were weaponized and really treated brutally by a system that was so corrupt, with corrupt people running it, and they're getting reimbursed for their legal fees and the other things that they had to suffer. Yeah, please.
Yeah, he's talking about that slush fund that he's using to pay off fucking the people that stormed the Capitol and fucking people that tried to commit election fraud, like Tina Peters, who the fucking governor of Colorado, like the bitch he is, decided to give clemency to, even though she fucking went in under false pretenses with somebody that she said was from the IT department to go in and fuck with computer systems that had to do with the elections in Colorado. People, none of these people have a fucking spine. These people are all cowards. There's a country full of fucking fascists, authoritarians, and cowards. And here, this is about the slush fund. This is in Congress. This is Todd Blanche talking about the slush fund.
Your announcement said that the fund will send you quarterly reports. Will you commit to making these reports fully public so Americans know who's getting taxpayer dollars out of the settlement fund? This says they'll be confidential. This is Section 4, Part E of the settlement agreement.
The reason why I want to be careful in my answer is because there's obviously laws that exist around privacy that may prevent some of the information that the commission takes in from being fully public. Beyond that, there will be full transparency, and I commit to you that beyond the applicable laws that exist around privacy and privileges and whatnot. But as far as being transparent and having those quarterly reports released, yes.
Thank you. You referenced
He said no. He said you can't know because there was a settlement between the fucking Trump administration and Trump. It was like you can settle for an undisclosed amount of money in like a civil suit, and that's sort of what they're saying is going on here, but that's really not what's going on here. Like Trump is like rewarding the people who stormed the Capitol. That's what's happening. He's rewarding those people. There are a lot of people who are speaking out right now saying that during these people's criminal trials, some of these people just straight up told the judge and the Department of Justice during these trials that Trump was going to save them and that they weren't worried. It's fucking insane. I mentioned Tina Peters earlier. Here's JD Vance talking about how they're going to fucking pay off Tina Peters for trying to actually engage in like election fraud.
Like, let's just take a couple of examples. Tina Peters is this woman who is about to get out of prison, thanks in large part to the president's good work in Colorado. This is a woman who, at worst, if you believe everything that the prosecutors said about her, committed misdemeanor trespassing, and somebody threw the book at her. This innocent grandmother was going to spend 10 years in prison, completely disproportionate.
So, what are you trespassing? What is your Okay, yeah, you're not supposed to be there, but what else are you trying to do? Okay, you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, but like if somebody goes and tries to fucking steal money from the bank, sure, they're in the bank without permission, but that's bank robbery. We don't just call it trespassing.
Any misdemeanor trespassing that I've ever seen. Was that fair? No. Is it reasonable for her to get some compensation for the fact that she was treated unfairly? I think the answer is yes. And I think that what we're going to see, hopefully, is the entire country, led by this Department of Justice, turning the page on the lawfare.
Yo, this is insane. Tina Peters, like, I might get some of this. I'm not going to get like the broad strokes wrong, but I'm not like a Tina Peters case expert. She had somebody that was she had somebody there with her posing as an IT person that was supposedly working for the elections, like whoever was handling the elections. Like this is not just trespassing. They were like trying to get election information after she was like fired or forced to resign or something. Fucking really bad shit. Really bad shit. It's the kind of shit that they're accusing like liberals of doing. The liberals aren't doing any of that. We're just voting, and you don't like how we're voting. Did you know that none of these people that stormed the Capitol, none of them ever got like an ounce of sympathy? I mean, I didn't feel sorry for him. I did actually. There's a couple I did feel sorry for. There were a couple who were like, no, this was wrong. I can't believe that I did this. And I will do my time. I felt kind of bad for those people because they realized that they'd been like caught up in something that they didn't maybe even understand what was going on or didn't believe in themselves. And it was some form of peer pressure going on in the villages in Florida or something. But the rest of them, I don't feel sorry for it. I don't really feel sorry for them. I guess I feel glad that they understand what they did. But here we go. Nobody felt sorry for them.
But the American media and the American Legal Academy has decided that even though they committed bad crimes, their sentence was disproportionate. They were mistreated in some way. You know who never, ever gets an ounce of sympathy when it comes to that disproportionate sentencing is people who voted for Donald Trump and participated in the January 6th protest.
They stole a door. They went in there and they took a door. Some people put shit on the walls. They stole a lectern. Somebody stole like a laptop from people stole laptops. They stole shit from the fucking Capitol. And they were like going around saying like, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. I mean, you could say that shit at a protest, like whatever. Like you're allowed to say that. But no, nuh-uh. No, nuh-uh. We watched that. I got up at like fucking 8:30 in the morning because I knew shit was going to go down, and we watched it in real time. We watched people from RSBN of all fucking places be like, oh, this is really bad. RSBN, like the Trump network on fucking Rumble. They were like, they were saying that it was really bad, that this was like an attack on the United States government, an attack on like the fucking Congress. The fucking RSBN was calling it that. Like, yo. All right, up next. You know how these people are like, well, you shouldn't say those mean things about the police. The police, we love the police. Well, I say fuck the police. Although I don't know that much about the Capitol Police, but probably fuck them too. But here, check this out.
Mr. Attorney General, this is an outrageous, unprecedented slush fund that you set up. Simple question. Will individuals who assaulted Capitol Hill police officers be eligible for this fund?
Well, as it makes plain, anybody
just let me know if they're eligible for the fund.
As was made plain yesterday, anybody in this country is eligible to apply if they believe they were victim of weaponization.
Mr. Attorney General, let me ask you this. Are there going to be rules that say that if you've assaulted a Capitol Hill police officer or committed a violent crime, you will not be eligible? Why not make that a rule?
I expect that, because I'm not one of the commissioners setting up the rules, I expect that there will be rules.
You're appointing 4 of the 5 members, aren't you, Mr. Attorney General?
Pardon me?
You're appointing 4 of the 5 members.
I am appointing all 5 members.
You can certainly set up the rules. I would hope you would make a rule that anyone convicted of assaulting a police officer or a violent crime is simply not eligible. They should not apply.
Well,
I thought these people love the fucking cops, dude. Like somebody in chat's like, oh, I don't know. I think the Capitol Police are probably not very likely to fuck with you. And that's probably true because that's not their job. Their job is probably if you're on a tour and you get lost to get you back with your fucking tour and shit, right? That's the other thing is I don't think they were really trained for what happened on January 6th. But regardless, we could even not, we could think the Capitol Police are a bunch of fucking pigs or whatever. But this is the party that says that they fucking love the cops and that you shouldn't even disrespect the cops. And if you do disrespect the cops, maybe they should shoot you. So this is fucking mind-expandingly stupid. Like anybody who can't see this is it's willful. They're not dumb. It's like willful if you can't see this. Here's Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche on more of this.
Individuals who are convicted of assaulting law enforcement on January 6th be able to get money from this fund?
So as I said yesterday, I don't know why this needs clarification. I said it multiple times yesterday. The commissioners will determine who receives money. Now, the conditions, the settlement's public. My order is public. There's nothing.
Wait, no, you just said that some of it's not. You said that it's confidential. It's not public. You just said the last fucking thing that it's what the fuck?
transparent about this process. One of the factors the commissioners have to consider is what the claimant did, the claimant's conduct, okay? So in the hypothetical you just described, the claimant would have to say, I assaulted a cop and I want money. So whether the commissioners will give that person money, that claimant, it's up to them, but this
is just a way for people, this is just a way for like conservative activists to get paid.
They have to consider for the very reason that was raised yesterday, which should be raised, which is that President Trump, this Department of Justice, does not stand for assaulting law enforcement, and the kind of fake outrage at this because there's a handful of folks who might apply. By the way, nobody's received money, nobody's applied yet. We don't even have commissioners.
Yeah, like remember when we had Noelle Cook on and she did that documentary where she was with those two women, both of whom were at the Capitol and got convicted of like crimes? Those ladies, they're not going to get shit. They're not going to get shit because they're not friends with the president. They're not influencers. They're not. They're just people who got caught up in something they didn't understand. Neither of them hurt anybody. And I mean, I don't think they deserve shit anyway. Like they tried to overthrow the government. I don't love the government, but I don't want to live through the aftermath of the government being overthrown. I mean, here in California, like the state government and the state of California is powerful enough that the ramifications would be far less intense, let's say, than other places in the country. But it's not going to be those two ladies that Noelle Cook met and did that documentary and then wrote a book about that are going to be getting any money, right? It's going to be people like Tina Peters. It's going to be Enrique Tarrio from the fucking Proud Boys. It's going to be like Weird Mike Cernovich, right? It's going to be like live streamers. It's going to be, I don't think the Q Shaman's going to get any money because he fucking turned on Trump, right? It might be whoever stole the door. They might just get to keep the door. Yeah, like Ducky in the chat said, maybe like Jake Lang. It's going to be a slush fund for influencers, for sure. High profile people who not just believed it, but were pushing the message, right? It's going to be a payoff for those people. Alex Jones is too toxic. Also, Alex didn't go in. Owen Schroyer got fucking put in the clink for a while for his participation there. But Owen Schroyer done turned on these people, so he ain't getting none of that fucking money either. Fuck Owen Schroyer, but you know, it's all going to be based on who the president likes and who's a vocal supporter of the president. That's all that this is going to be about. Because of course, that's all that this is going to be about. Also, if you think Donald Trump ain't going to pocket half of that fucking money, you're crazy. So here, this one's weird. This is a Mike Johnson. Did you know that we have to have some sympathy for the people in Congress? Because like, who amongst us could live working about half of the year, making, you know, $170,000 with a $80 food allowance every day, whether we're working or not, full benefits and pension? Who amongst us could live like that without doing insider trading? I'm not kidding. Look at this.
Well, look, you know, the salary of Congress has been frozen since 2009. You know, when you adjust for inflation, a member of Congress today is making 31% less than they made in that year. It goes down every year. And over time, if you stay on this trajectory, you're going to have less qualified people who are willing to make the extreme sacrifice to run for Congress. I mean, it's just people just make a reasonable decision as a family on whether or not they can come and move to Washington, have a residence here, residence at home, and do all the things that are required.
No, don't they? Isn't there like a housing allowance and shit too? Weren't people bitching when AOC got like elected that there was a housing allowance and that she got to live in like a nice place somewhere in DC? I swear to you, people were bitching about that.
So the counter argument is, and I have some sympathy, look, at least let them like engage in some stock trading so that they can continue to, you know, take care of their family.
But there are ways that you can invest your money in the market without trading. You can fucking put your money in a blind trust, put it in some kind of mutual fund. If you have a person who was handling your money before, just be like, hey, can you keep investing my money for me? But I can't have anything to do with the investments. If you could send me a letter once a year to let me know how we're doing, that'd be great. Like, you can still invest your money. You just can't be like playing the stock market. That's fucking totally reasonable. They should have to put their money in a blind trust with like some reputable stockbroker or fucking whatever. There's plenty of ways that you can make money in the stock market. You know, like the teachers have funds where they invest the teachers' money, and the teacher's not out there playing the stock market, but those people get fucked. But that's not what we're not talking about that. There's insider trading happening, and everyone's doing it because of course they are. Here's Donald Trump. We have to purge more disloyal people. Just purge everybody. If you work in the government and you do not love Donald Trump, then you shouldn't be working there.
He suggested that there's still people in your DOJ and FBI that are waiting you out. They're waiting until your administration is over to get back to work. Do you think those people are still in the DOJ and FBI?
I hope not. Well, if they are, we're going to seek them out. We'll seek them out. We'll get rid of them. Okay? Because you have in every agency, you have scum. And certainly they did in the FBI and DOJ. But Todd Blanche is doing a fantastic job. Cash is doing a very good job. So we will prevail.
This is so insane. This is all bullshit, right? Like, people have their political beliefs, and the FBI and the DOJ are probably full of more conservative-minded people just because of the kind of job it is, you know? But you're supposed to be loyal to the country, ostensibly. You're at least, the president's at least supposed to pretend that that's the job, right? Again, we were talking about this earlier. Can't you just fucking lie? Can't you just fucking lie to us like the other people did? Like, because they swear an oath to the United States of America, not to the president. Like, that's their job. Here's more. This is JD Vance. JD Vance is like, how dare you talk about this particular type of corruption? We're here to get rid of corruption, fraud, waste, and abuse, but how dare you talk about this particular kind of corruption?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The president's financial disclosures were released recently, and they showed a lot of stock trades in companies that he has talked up at events, official events at the White House, on his True Social account, sometimes even putting the stock ticker symbols in his posts and encouraging people to buy their stock. Americans, according to recent polling, are increasingly describing the president as corrupt. And
imagine being like, okay, this is the thing now. All right, now, he put the stock symbol in his Truth Social post. I guess this guy must be corrupt. You know what though? Fuck it. If fucking May 24th in the year of our Lord 2026 is the day that you used to be a Trump supporter and now you figured out that his ass is corrupt, well, good for you. You're not invited to my house to fucking have dinner, but good for you. Good for you.
Stocks.
This is a hell of a question.
Thank you, sir. Trading individual stocks is something that you said that public officials should not be able to do when you ran for Senate all those years ago. And yet the president, who arguably has access to more non-public information than your average senator, is not only buying and selling individual stocks either through his trust.
Okay. What's the question?
Yeah. The question, sir, is how can you and your administration argue to Americans that you're cleaning up corruption, you're preventing fraud, you're fighting the sorts of things that harm people and people's financial situations, when the president's
question's too long? Be like, do you think this is corrupt? Is what I've described, which is happening, is that corrupt? Question's too long, man. Question's too long. I know you're trying to like give context here. Just be like, the president's trading on stocks that he is boosting in posts on his own social media platform, which is the president shouldn't have. Is all of this corrupt? Just make JD Vance say no.
Be talking up stocks that he owns, selling them, and enriching himself.
Okay, so here, let me answer your question here. That was a doozy. Before I answer your question, I want to just observe there are different ways to ask a question. Okay, you can just ask a question, try to get your answer, or you could do like a speech where you say, Mr. Vice President, you're a terrible human being, and so is the president, so is the entire cabinet.
That I would have preferred that, actually. That'd fucking rule.
I'm like, what's your question? And then your question is, how dare you? come on, man. Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions, because there were a lot of things in that speech masquerading as a question that didn't actually get asked, okay?
So that's, I mean, what he did allowed JD Vance to do that right there. What you do is you go, hey man, and I would have a specific one. I'd be like, let's say it was, I don't know, let's say it was Walmart or whatever. I don't know. The president's like, oh, Walmart's doing gangbusters, and puts the fucking stock ticker thing for Walmart in the fucking, in a Truth Social post. And then you find out that he bought a bunch of Walmart stock 3 days before that. And then the Walmart stock went up, and then he sold a bunch of it 6 weeks later. You ask about that. That didn't have to be Walmart, but I mean, that shit's for sure going on. That shit is for sure going on. And you go, is this corrupt? Is this corrupt? Then he starts to nod, ask, and you go, excuse me, Mr. Vice President, you yourself in the past have said that public servants should not be able to trade individual stocks. Like, that guy just too long. He allowed JD Vance to wiggle out of the fucking question by taking too long to ask it, trying to give too much context. Here's Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer has been and always will be a giant piece of shit, and he like totally malfunctioned when asked a question on, of all things, Squawk Box on CNBC.
Yeah, City today takes it to 130.
Yeah, but the president, the U.S. government got in. They could sell it and
yes,
give that
and
the
according
number.
to the filings, the president's been trading some intel in the quarter. Yeah.
Trade.
Got nothing to say about it?
Well, yeah.
All right, don't worry. We're not having technical difficulties here, everybody, but we got to go.
Jim, we'll see you tonight. Mad Money, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. S&P 7430.
He started the show with that clip of the fucking fake fucking AI fucking podcast about the WWE, and now we're at Jim Cramer being asked specifically, hey, didn't the president trade a bunch of this Intel stock that's been going up? Is he? And then Jim Cramer's like, because he can't just say this is corrupt. Motherfucker, just say it's corrupt. It's fucking corrupt. Imagine if Kamala Harris made $900 trading any stock as the president. Just imagine the freak out that they would have had. Kamala Harris, if she were the president, shouldn't be trading stock either. Even just making $900, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. Here's Peter Navarro. I don't know if you know this. When the government of China puts out things in writing, did you know that they write those things in Chinese?
Dominance. I mean, they've been clear about that. I'm just telling you what they tell the world. People should read more about what China actually writes. They do it all in Chinese, and people. All in Chinese, and they do it all in Chinese, and they.
The Chinese government puts out documents and they do it in Chinese. It's so that you can't read it.
People think people aren't looking at it because we're barbarians, but I mean, it's all.
They put it in Chinese because they think we're stupid and can't read Chinese. Well, friend, I can't read Chinese and I'm not stupid. I just can't read Chinese. That they do it in Chinese because the fucking people of China are reading, like, might want to read the thing that the government puts out, or maybe the people of China have to read what the government puts out, or else I don't know.
For us to see, they tell us they're going to invite us over to the mainland and take our technology.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, that's true. That's probably in Mandarin. Yeah,
spit us out. They tell us that. Yet, GE goes over there and hands its technology over. Elon Musk goes over there and. Suddenly, there's a Chinese electric vehicle company that's now the biggest in the world. Not
what? That's not how this worked.
Tesla. over and over again. I would say one other thing, Joe. I mean, the Schwartzmans and the Finks and the Musks and the Apple guys that go over there on that trip. I mean, that was embarrassing for those guys. I mean, they weren't even let into the room at one point. I mean, the Chinese do not view those folks as anything more than useful idiots. And they don't have that kind of self-awareness, but that's how they're viewed. And it's fraught when we take our technology over there. We should have learned that lesson 30 years ago, but we're still trying to learn that lesson.
I didn't know that by the end of that he was going to be throwing fucking Elon Musk under the bus. Like they fucking the Chinese, they know that these tech CEOs are idiots. Well, okay, I think they're idiots too. They don't know how to be fucking smart. Also, you're not stealing technology from Elon Musk, and it's not like Elon Musk went over there and all of a sudden now they have a car company. I think he's talking about BYD. BYD has been working on cars for a very long time. Also, what do you expect to happen when you offshore all of your high-tech manufacturing to another country? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to not figure out how you're making your shit? You stupid motherfucker. Of course they're going to figure out how you're making your shit. They're making it. You have to send the blueprints to them. You absolute fucking moron. Again, man, other administrations were full of liars and cranks and fucking weirdos and warmongers and all that. But at least they knew how to fucking go on TV and lie to you. Or spin the truth in a way that was fucking, I don't know, made them look like they knew what they were doing, or made you look like you were an idiot for questioning them, or I don't fucking know, man. These people are all incompetent. I guess we should be glad that they're incompetent, because if they were competent, the shit would be a lot fucking worse right now, because they'd be fucking on TV lying to you about all this dumb shit they're doing. Here, this is from C-SPAN. There's a Republican from Hawaii who, again, we don't got to fucking invite this guy to the fucking barbecue or whatever. But this guy seems to have figured out that he's been conned by Donald Trump, and good for him.
I wanted to believe Trump was the real deal for a long time, but now I regret my support for him, and I should have known better. He's making it plain as day. He's a con man, a liar, doesn't keep his promises. He's the worst president we've ever had, and he's the most corrupt president we've ever had. I know that's hard. It took me a while to be able to say that. Very difficult when you commit yourself to believing in somebody.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back this time around? Was it the war? Is it something
I don't think
else?
it's one thing. It's been a cumulative process.
Yeah, like, I don't know, fuck that guy for voting for Donald Trump and shit, although it doesn't matter in Hawaii. You could fucking, like he was going to get Donald Trump fucking to win in Hawaii. Fuck that guy for voting for Donald Trump, but also, man, it is hard to fucking admit that you've been had, right? Because you're basically saying that you were stupid. So we don't need to like make these people like the president of our fucking our anti-Trump clubs and shit, like a lot of people have been trying to do with like Joe Walsh and the Lincoln Project. But like we got to, show a little grace to these people as they off ramp from this bullshit when you can, where you can, and if it's appropriate. This is just some random dude in Hawaii. He ain't got no power. So I guess places of worship should just hire their own security. I don't know. I never thought that if I were to go to a church that they should just hire their own security, but here we are.
I tell you, President Trump has assembled a great team, and Kash Patel, myself, the White House, we work together all the time to work with these religious establishments, and we've had FEMA grants that they can use to help protect themselves. Unfortunately, for the last 76 days, we were shut down, so we're just now getting those grants out. Wow. Until then, they have to hire their own security.
Let's protect
FEMA.
Let's protect innocent people.
What the fuck is what FEMA? Did you say we have FEMA grants? What the fuck is FEMA doing? Like, what the FEMA's not going to fucking provide security at the church? Why are these why are these people so incompetent? Usually, like this must be something. This must be an extra specially incompetent week in the news because that was insane. So this is Batya Ungar Sargon, who is working with the Land of Misfit Anchors. They keep hiring worse and worse and worse people. Here's what she has to say about political violence. She's like, what we learned this week is that they're lying to you about who does the political violence. It was like literally like a fucking right winger fucking tried to kill a bunch of fucking Muslim kids.
They tried to kill President Trump again. We just got new footage of Cole Allen, the 31-year-old California man accused of plotting to assassinate the president and his cabinet. You can see Allen running through the magnetrons.
Wait, this isn't new footage?
Wielding a rifle and trying to gain access to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
And fucking Keystone Cop ass. Fucking look at those guys like ran into each other and shit. Fucking Keystone Cop ass fucking Secret Service.
They also released footage of Allen casing the joint the day before, walking through the hallway he would later run through, and footage of him walking through the gym and even politely engaging with the attendant. Federal prosecutors.
Okay. This isn't like, okay, so the guy did go, I think, try to assassinate the fucking president. But like walking down a hallway and then going to the gym and asking the person at the counter a question this is just normal behavior. This was not a red flag. We found this footage. This is nothing. We found this. Okay, cool.
Also released selfies that Allen took in his hotel mirror just 30 minutes before he tried to commit mass murder. You can see him wearing multiple knives, a handgun, and a sheepish little grin. Just look at this goofball preparing to kill.
So wait, I thought this was like this massive, dangerous thing coming. Now this guy's a goofball?
President.
This guy's not a goofball. He tried to kill people. It wasn't just the president there. There was like all kind of people there.
Say this to, God forbid, minimize the threat, but rather to point to an incongruity here. Cole Allen is not who you'd probably imagine when you picture a vigilante out to commit political violence and murder scores of people. The stereotype promoted by the mainstream media is someone perhaps with a low IQ, an outcast, a white nationalist who owns an AR-15, votes Republican, and hates minorities. But Allen is none of those things. He has a degree in mechanical engineering from the prestigious Caltech and a master's in computer science from California State University. He was Teacher of the Month at the school where he tutored. He's from a loving family by all accounts. He is a man of the left. This is what we learned about America this week. The media is lying to you about where political violence in America comes from.
No. It's not the media. You're talking about the media relies on FBI statistics that we're probably not going to get anymore over like the last fucking basically since 9/11, right? Since 9/11, it's the statistics are that it's mostly right-wing violence. Not that there's no left-wing violence, not that there's no religious. Well, it's interesting when they say they don't put, that's actually really interesting, right? Because they won't put the Muslim stuff in with right-wing violence, even though that is like a right-wing faction of Islam that it does that. But anyway, we don't want to get into that discussion right now. You just had examples of people, and one of the people on that picture was that fucking that young kid that like we saw the pictures of, or whatever. Young kid, he was like 20 or whatever. We saw pictures of him and then fucking never heard anything about him ever again. Actually, this is so frustrating. Jeff Bezos has to give Trump credit where credit is due. This is all so frustrating.
When I last interviewed you, it was about 2 years ago, President Trump had just won. He was not the president yet. And I had asked you what you thought of him at the time. and you said that you thought that he had mellowed, that he was calmer.
Yeah.
And I'm curious now, here we are.
Yeah, I still think that.
2 years later, we've had lots of we have wars and tariffs and all sorts of things that have happened since then. What do you think?
I think he has, I mean, I'm comparing him to his first term, and I think he is a more mature, more disciplined version of himself than he was in his first term. And, you know, so he's, again, I've worked with all the presidents, I will work with all the presidents, you know, and I hope to do that going forward if they'll have me. But it's we need
a president who, when Jeff Bezos calls, they just don't reply.
Our business leaders to provide input into the administration, regardless of who the president is.
But why do you think you should be able to have input in the fucking presidential administration? You run a company. Fuck you.
On the side, you know what? I'm on the side of America, and that is so important. Like, and that's where business leaders should be. It's just.
And do you think they're not?
I think we are, but we get perceived as being like, you know, partisan or whatever. Like, I was helping.
You're being partisan right now.
Every chance I could. I was helping Biden every chance I could. I still call Obama for advice.
Obama should stop taking your calls. We're not some Obama stan channel, but Obama should stop taking your calls.
Very smart guy. And, you know, and by the way, people that are, Trump has lots of good ideas, and
name 5 of them.
He's been right about a lot of things. You have to give him credit where credit is due.
Let me pivot.
What the fuck? We should have a president who doesn't just take Jeff Bezos's call. We should have a president who Jeff Bezos hates because the president is like regulating big business and doing things that Jeff Bezos doesn't like. Because the president's job isn't to make sure that Jeff Bezos gets fucking richer. Jeff Bezos is plenty rich. President's job should be to fucking, with Congress, enact policy that makes it harder for Jeff Bezos to fucking create the situations where the people driving around in the fucking Amazon trucks have to fucking pee in a water bottle so that they can make their quota for the day. That's the president's job. You fucking idiots. Anyway, here's more awful tech people, but this is good. Always boo these people. Always boo these people.
Than in the 50 years prior. Streaming rewrote the economics.
That was bad.
Social media rewrote the discovery model. AI is rewriting production as we sit here. I know it. Deal with it. Like I said, it's a tool. Hey, like I said, you can hear me now or you can pay me later.
The student should walk out. Booing is fine, but just leave. Just leave. Just leave. Walk out. Not only is he saying something you disagree with that you booed, and now he's just straight up disrespecting you and calling you poor and telling you to kiss the ring. You walk out, baby. Walk out.
Hey, then do something about it, okay? It's a tool. Make it work for you. The things you learn.
Fuck this guy. He just basically said, "You fucking eat from my hand, bitch," is what he just told this graduating class. Leave. Because the other option is redacted, terms of service redacted. Here we go. Here's more. This is great. This is fantastic. This is the most insulting thing. This is way more insulting than any of these other ones. It's a graduation ceremony in which students booed AI. These college graduates were pissed that the AI, and you're not going to believe this, didn't read all the names on the list. And so some people didn't get to walk up on stage and shake this person's hand or whatever. I'd sue them. Sue the school. Sue everybody. Sue the AI company. Sue everyone. Because AI is going to make it so it's hard for you to get a fucking job anyway. So take money from everybody if they didn't read your name.
Graduates, everyone who is standing, here's what's happening. We're using a new AI system as our reader. So that is a lesson learned for us. What we were able to do, though, is each of you were able to walk the stage and get a picture, which is what I would hope would be the most meaningful.
Leave. Everyone leave. Just leave. Just leave. This is fucking so insulting. Leave. Friends, I think we've had the technology to read names off of a list without a fucking robot doing it for a very long time. Leave. Just leave. Fuck this. Leave.
Yep, okay. So I'm going to have to disappoint many of you. We will not be able to walk the stage a second time.
What? Why? Wait, why? No. Fucking, you fucked up so badly that you can't even just go off program and be like, all right, listen, we're going to stop the program here. This is a huge mistake, and I'm going to personally read your names, and I'm personally going to hand you all your diplomas. You still suck. All of you can still go fuck yourselves, but now you're not going to you're like, no, we're going to keep to the program. We're going to keep to the read their names and let them walk across the stage, you awful bitch. Oh my God, I try not to fucking talk like this. Imagine you're the parent of one of these kids where you fucking sacrificed. You picked up a second job. You fucking tightened your belt so that your kid could get through fucking school. You went and maybe they didn't go to school near, so you traveled with money that you didn't fucking have to go watch these people graduate, to watch your kid graduate. You're so proud of your kid because it was real tough for your kid, real tough for you. Financially, fucking emotionally. Like there were times when your kid called and didn't think they were going to make it through the fucking program because some of the stuff was hard, and now this happens. Fuck no. Fuck no.
In order to have the name on the screen.
This is a university.
So we won't be able to do that. I am so sorry. There's plenty of opportunities, I hope, to take some really good pictures and to celebrate.
No. What the? Just read the names. Have them walk up. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You with your loved ones as well. Yeah.
Are we going to do the rest?
Yeah. So I'll go let you do that. Okay. One more round of applause for our graduates.
What the fuck, you? I don't even know any of these kids and I'm fucking hopping mad about this. Leave. Leave. Just leave.
Buddy.
Or just boo the rest of the time. What the fuck? Was the AI gloating now? You hear that? The computer's like, oh, I'm here by the way. Fuck you.
I have the part of the ceremony that doesn't require AI, so as soon as we figure this out, we're going to be working next.
No, boo her too. She should walk. If she gives a fuck about any of you, she should be the first to walk. She's like, I'm not doing this. Right, homegirl right here could have been a hero. She could have been like, I'm not doing this. She's like, in fact, homegirl right here could be like, you know what? I'm going to read the names. I'm going to read your names, actually. Let's find their diplomas. Homegirl right here could have been, she could have fucking been like, Nope. She's like, oh, I get the part where you don't boo me. No, homegirl, you come on, fucking stand tall. Come on, do something. Fucking do something.
We're here at GCC's graduation, and they just list all these people that are standing in line in black against the wall. I mean, there's a whole section that's in red that is not in their seats. It's all the ones that they missed.
Yo, why couldn't they just fucking, okay, your dumbass computer that can't even, you hear like the notification went off on the fucking computer too? Your dumbass fucking computer didn't read the names. Read the name yourself. The students whose names didn't get read should have just walked up onto the fucking stage. They should have, maybe they just walk up on stage and insist that they walk the stage, and fucking, if they're told no, then you sit down and refuse to leave. What are your parents going to get mad at you? What, are they going to arrest you? Are you going to get arrested for that? Probably. Fucking Matt Mahan's robot cop come for you. Man, that is so fucking infuriating. Because that was, okay, so first of all, the first mistake was like, oh, we're going to have the AI read the list of people. Why? Why? You have people that major in communications. Have somebody who isn't graduating this year, a student that's going to graduate next year, have them read the names. You have a college radio station, have one of the students that works at the college radio station used to talk it on the mic, have them read the names. Why the fuck are you having an AI read off the fucking names of the fucking people that graduated? Yeah, somebody in chat just said there's a massive time gap. What if the AI said it'll take me this long to read the names? And so they slotted in that much time. Also, what a college fucking a commencement ceremony never goes over? Fuck you. Fuck you. Read the, oh my God. You have these AI fucking pieces of shit running around on the news telling these people that their degree is useless, and then you fucking sort of back up what they're saying by not reading their name off because you had a fucking robot read their fucking name, and they fucking couldn't even read all their names. There's Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz on the Joe Rogan program. He's having a normal one.
Here's what's actually happened with coding. Here's what's so interesting. So everybody I know who uses AI for coding, you would think basically one of two things would have happened. One is they just would be out of the profession entirely, because there's no point anymore. Or you would think, well, maybe they just have a better life now because they're working less, right? And so if AI coding makes them 4 times more productive, if they can write 4 times the amount of code in the same amount of time because they've got AI helping them, then maybe they're working only a fourth the time, and they've got a great life. What's actually happened is virtually to a person, they're all working more hours than ever, to the point where there is a new term of art that's used in the Valley called the AI vampire, which is it's when AI turns you into a vampire. You're up all night doing AI coding because you are so productive, you're getting so much done that you can't turn off. The opportunity cost.
It's called being a tweaker.
Cost of going to sleep is too high, because if you go to sleep, you won't be with your 20 AI coding agents keeping them working on all the projects that you have them working on, and so people stop sleeping. And so I have all these friends, some of whom are quite famous, where when you talk to them now, as opposed to 6 months ago, they look terrible. They're sleep deprived. They've got bags under their eyes.
Good. I fucking love that for them. They deserve it. Fuck them.
They're clearly not taking care of themselves, and they're absolutely ecstatic because they are able to produce 5 times, 10 times, 20 times more.
This sounds like either a methamphetamine abuse or some kind of psychosis that needs fucking treatment.
Code per hour than they could in the past. And so they are just absolutely ripping through, every project that they've ever wanted to do at work, every coding project they've ever wanted to do at home. I have a Wall Street friend who has a computer science degree from MIT from 35 years ago and then became very successful in Wall Street, so he stopped coding. I was just with him this week. He's picked up coding with AI. He's completely re-automated his entire house. So he's got like AI jukebox and security cameras and pet robot dog pets, and he's got every smart fridges and every.
Instead of doing, if you have AI, you could learn to DJ. Your friend would be a train wrecking ass fucking DJ, probably play the fucking Beatport Top 100 only, but.
conceivable thing you can imagine. And he keeps a running tally, and he, in his spare time, has generated 500,000 lines of code just by working with AI. And he's one of these AI vampires, right? And so now he's got like the digital music jukebox system of his dreams.
Wait, what? Do you mean Winamp? Do you mean Winamp?
Always wanted to experience music. It's just like
he used AI to fucking create a CD changer.
And this is what, by the way, this is the same thing the companies are seeing. So in the companies, in the leading edge tech companies, the coders that are using AI, the estimate is right now that they're 20 times more productive than they were before they started using AI. Right. So they're generating 20 times more output per hour. And then you just think, like, logically, what does that mean? Okay, so if there's only a limited amount of software that people want in the world, then yeah, you're going to get mass unemployment. But
or you could like reinvent a CD changer, I guess.
Elasticity effect, right? Which is what if it becomes super cheap to get code? It turns out there's way more demand for code in the world than was ever able to be satisfied under the old economics. Every company I know has 1,000 things that they've wanted to have code for that they've never been able to get to. It's the projects that never make the cut, or the projects that aren't cost effective in the old model. And all of a sudden they can do all those projects. And so these companies are like ripping out code. They're releasing products like at a far faster rate of speed. They're adding like features like much faster. They've moved into turbo mode, and in fact, what's happened is coding salaries have correspondingly inflated. So the top coders in AI make $50 million a year.
Yo,
yeah, because right, like they've got the silver bullet, they've got the philosopher's stone, right? Okay,
is this sustainable?
Yeah, but not only is this sustainable, this is going to intensify.
So first of all, a lot of this, I think, is bullshit. This guy's like fucking getting high on his own supply, right? But like, this is bad. Also, like, you ask these people, okay, well, your friend that's doing all this fucking shit, is any of it useful? He's like, I don't know. There's songs playing. He's got songs playing. Like, friend, we used to just have the radio. Like, friend, didn't Pandora solve this problem a long time ago? What problems are they solving? Yeah, I'm going back to Tweaker. Fucking 5th day of a 3-day meth binge and pretending that they're coding. doing like a bunch of bathtub meth and talking to a fucking chatbot, and the chatbot's like, hell yeah, we just reinvented. You ever heard of an MP3? I just invented that for you. Oh my fucking God. All right. Up next, we're getting pretty close to red light here. We're running long today. This is my fault, though. I've been talking a lot. I'm talking too much. Anyway, here's great value Matt Walsh on the Only Hope for America. Shout out to Right Wing Watch. Could not do this show without Right Wing Watch. Although, to be fair, the fucking AI people are now crazier than the religious fundamentalists. Like, no question. And a lot of them are becoming religious fundamentalists. More on that later if we cover the Epic Church in San Francisco.
A lot of the old American ideals, it's, there was a time where I would have said I was a conservative. Then there was a time it's like I'm a traditionalist. Mm-hmm. I don't want to conserve the status quo. I want to get back to the roots. But then there's also something to be said for you have to move forward. The only way out is through.
The only way out is through. Wait, what is that? Is that from fucking... What is that from? The only way out is through. What is that from? Is that from like Modern Family or something?
And
like when they were doing like a fucking... No, is it from... What show is it where they were trying to do like a fire drill?
When we come out on the other side, whatever that looks like, I can't pretend...
Like slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Predict everything, but... At the same time, I think there are some basic principles that are inevitable, and one of them is going to be less freedom. One thing that we did in the West is we exalted liberty above virtue, and freedom just for the sake of freedom
is wonderful
to us. It's not commendable.
It is the highest goal of a society. Is freedom for its own sake, actually.
I mean, we should. Like, we have, so like, even when I think of freedom of speech, Like if a leftist is bringing me before a judge, I'm going to appeal to the First Amendment all day long in the Constitution. But that's because I know that what I'm saying is right, and I know that they're wicked. But in theory, that's what I'll do in practice. But in theory, I don't think you should be able to say whatever you want.
All right, well, tough shit, motherfucker. I got some things to say about you that maybe not allowed to say on Twitch, but perfectly legal. Here's that same asshole with Alex Jones. This is just straight up fucking anti-Semitism. This isn't one of those Judeo-Christian values kind of guys, let's say.
It's not every single time, but it is every single time. And
what the fuck?
I mean by that is it's not like I wake up in the morning, stub my toe, and the Jews maybe do it. But I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. You can take the word of Dennis Prager. He would say every big major communism, Marxism, transgenderism, it's lots of people involved, not exclusively Jews, but it is disproportionately represented by Jews pushing for some of these things that have been really bad. Not every single time, but every single time. So,
well, I'm not going to watch any more of that. Fuck that. What the fuck? This is the most infuriating fucking docket I've had in a while. I usually don't get fucking mad until like later at night on this fucking show. But I'm fucking very unhappy with this week's news. This is not great. Up next, this is at the Rededicate 250 rally. We watched some of it last week. I didn't get nearly this upset about that. This dumb motherfucker thinks we're going to have what he's calling a new Sunday law. A new Sunday law where, you do Sunday stuff.
Do you believe Donald Trump was picked by God?
Yes, I do, to fulfill Bible prophecy.
And are we in the end days right now?
We're at the time of the end.
When is the world going to end?
I'm not going to time set. All I know is this. A national Sunday law will come very
That guy's got a 666 on his shirt.
soon and shut all businesses down on Sunday, and everyone will be mandated by state and federal law to go to church, whether they believe in God or not. Atheists, Hindus, Sheiks, Muslims, Buddhists, it won't matter.
He said chic, but he meant Sikh.
Can I hear what you're saying to him?
Oh, she's talking and fucking speaking in tongues.
You have to ask God. It's speaking in tongues.
She's been practicing that. And if you're practicing it, it's not speaking in tongues.
What is that doing right now?
That is when the disciples were in the upper room and they were filled with the Holy Ghost with evidence of speaking in tongues. I don't know if that part's in the Bible, but about speaking in tongues, but that is speaking, God speaking through us. I don't know what I'm saying. You would have to have somebody that interprets tongue. That is a gift from the Holy Ghost.
Oh my fucking God. Dude, shut up. I've been practicing that. These people are out of their fucking minds. So here's another person that thinks they're going to force their religion on us, but I don't think this guy is going to force anything on anybody. These people, they like act like they're going to do this, but I don't know how they're going to how's this dude going to pull this off?
And I am going to enforce my morality on you in as much as our morality is God's morality. And you should always check yourselves. Again, I'm not trying to puff you up. Check yourself. Do I believe what God believes? Am I defending what God says is good? And if it is, then you should have the courage to say, this is how we're going to run our town. This is how we're going to run our county. This is how we're going to run our state. And this is how we should run the United States of America, by legislating the morality that we can find in the Bible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's not going to work out well. The thing is, you come to like any big city in the country and you're going to try to do that, and you're going to be surprised by how many fucking Christians run you out of town. Right? Like fucking you are going to be shocked. You were going to be shocked. You're just going to be shocked. You're like, wait, this is a church group running us out of town? Yeah, you were going to be fucking shocked. So here's this person's name is Magamama47, and well, I don't know. I feel like this is a situation where even though she's awful, like a terrible person, I feel like everybody kind of wins in the end here.
Story time regarding the Muslim problem we have here in Michigan. Yesterday, my family and I were at Lifetime in Shelby Township, where we are members and where we go almost every day. And we were in the pool, and a woman comes up with her daughter. She's wearing a full burqa, full thing, the entire thing. And she gets in the pool with the burqa on. Now, this has happened obviously several times over in Dearborn, and I have...
The thing she's talking about is a burkini. It's essentially a wetsuit. Not really. It's essentially a wetsuit, though.
Totally cut off our membership at places because I'm not...
Hell yeah, fuck yeah, get out of there. You fucking, I told you everybody wins.
...with my family and somebody wearing an entire burqa. It's just gross. It's a sanitary problem, and...
Why? Wait, why is it a sanitary problem? Why is it a sanitary problem?
Allowed. Never. It is totally against their policies. There's rules for us, and they don't have to abide by them. We have to have liners and boys' swimming suits. We have to have swimming attire on.
This is swimming attire. You can look it up right now. Just look up. They call it a burkini. It is swimming attire. It's not quite like a wetsuit, but it's the closest thing that like regular people who don't know about this, the closest thing to it is like it's kind of like a wetsuit.
It is not okay to get into a pool with an entire burqa on. That is disgusting. It's gross.
Wait, why? What do you think, they don't wash it? Oh, she probably thinks they don't wash it.
And we watch these people come in, and they don't change into this swim attire they claim.
They show up wearing it. Some people don't want to change in the locker room at the public pool. Some people, I would think maybe somebody who doesn't want to expose their body to other people wouldn't change in the locker room at the public pool.
It is. They actually wear it is their outfit they wear into the club. And
so would you have a problem if I showed up at the fucking swim club with my swim trunks and a t-shirt on, and then just fucking, I don't know, because I got a little dad bod and don't want to fucking make everybody be all like, whew, I'd leave my t-shirt on? She mad at that too?
They wear it into the pool and then claim it's swim attire. It's not. It's their daily outfit. So it doesn't end there. Mind you, obviously I go up to the lifeguard and I tell her that, this is gross.
The lifeguard, dude, this is the lifeguard's job right there, is to be like, get out. Leave.
I don't want my kids in this pool.
And then the lifeguard's like, well, good. We don't want your kids in the pool either. It's a shame that they have you for their mom, but...
It's just a sanitary issue. We talk about it. She says, there's been numerous complaints lately about women wearing full burqas in the pool. And, Americans aren't happy about it. My point with all...
I don't think the lifeguard said that.
These people do whatever the hell they want, and they just treat us like total garbage. There are rules at pools, public pools. Mind you, this isn't a public pool. It is a club that we pay to be members of.
Okay.
But mind you, there are rules, there are policies that we have to abide by. And for some reason, these people don't have to abide by the same policies, the same rules.
This is literally swimwear designed specifically for people who are observant, practicing Muslims.
That we do, and they claim freedom of religion. It is not freedom of religion to go into a pool with an entire burqa on. It is not freedom of religion.
What do you mean an entire burqa? Are you like, how much of would half of a burqa be okay? Like, what are you talking about?
Religion. That is a sanitary problem. This is gonna continue, and it's gonna get way worse if we allow it to continue. If we don't stand up and actually defend ourselves, defend our families, defend our kids. This is not right. It's not going to continue to go on. We're not going to be members here. We're going to cut off our membership. If you keep allowing...
Yeah, that's the part. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Good. Don't go back. The other people there are fucking... This is good for everybody. Except for your kids. And these kids probably don't have... That kid probably doesn't have a chance.
...this to go on. And it is going to continue if we do not stand up. It's a problem. It's gross. It's dirty. The point is, we have rules, we have policies that we have to abide by, and they should too. The end.
Yeah, if there's a lot of kids in that pool, they probably get like a floater at least once a month there. What is like what there's the pool is it's chlorine. Okay, so first of all, like it doesn't matter. A homegirl that went to the pool in a burkini is fine. She's fine. There's no fucking problem here. This lady is a fucking problem, and I'm glad she's not going back to this fucking swim club or whatever. Fuck her. This is good. Everybody wins. Everybody wins except that kid. I feel bad for that kid. So remember last week we watched Michael Tracy, of all people, fucking body Brett Weinstein. Do you remember that? Anybody here? Was anybody here last week for that? It was the craziest thing I've ever fucking seen. Well, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. Michael Tracy, of all people, is adding skulls to his collection. This one is Matt Taibbi's.
He 100% violated the leaking statute. 100%.
Which leaking? What's the leaking statute?
You can't leak classified information.
You mean the Espionage Act?
No, leaking classified information.
Which statute?
False statements, obstruction of a congressional proceeding.
I remember him being indicted for false statements. That's what he was indicted for. It was an obstruction of a congressional proceeding from 5 years ago that they snuck in right under the 5-year statute of limitations.
Yeah, but the false statement was that he had not authorized somebody to leak to the media.
But Matt, that was like indicting George Papadopoulos for getting a date wrong. That's what they're doing. That's the vengeance tour.
No, it's not. It's totally different.
Here's the counts. False. He wasn't even charged in the first indictment for leaking. He was charged for count 1, false statements within the jurisdiction of the legislative branch of the United States government, and count 2, obstruction of a congressional proceeding. There's no leaking statute.
God, these people, God damn it. Why are these people like, this is amazing. I mean, fuck Michael Tracy. Michael Tracy is one of the most annoying motherfuckers in the world. Also, I found out that he's 38. Yikes. But the fact that he's collecting skulls of some of these fucking stupid people by just being less stupid than them, and I think less stupid and maybe more annoying than they are. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe Woke 2.0. We were saying it's going to be Charles Barkley. Maybe Woke 2.0 is going to be led by fucking Michael Tracy. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? We got 2 more and then we're going to go into red light. I feel like I've been here forever. I feel like also my fucking blood pressure. I feel like my blood pressure is a little higher than usual right now. Here's Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a professional streamer. I mean, we've all been there, right? We've had this happen before, but you'll love to see it when it's Andrew Tate.
Been a while. Grand realization for you all at home. You have made 0 choices in regards to your own life. Every single thing about your life is because you are a victim of circumstance. You have chosen nothing. You didn't choose that girl you're dating because if you were actually rich and important, you'd date someone else. She's just the only one you can get. You didn't choose that car you drive. Oh, I've always wanted a BMW. False. You want a Bugatti on a jet. You can't afford it. You are set.
Why would you need a jet?
Every single thing about your life is a hallmark of your monumental failure.
BMWs are good cars. What you talking about?
You want a different car. You want a different woman. You want a bunch of them. You want a bunch of children. You want fame. You want everyone to know who you are. You're sitting around.
I don't know. You just loved it. You love to fucking see it, right? You love to see him going in fucking like 1 frame per second. You absolutely love to see it. We got one more. We got, here's his brother Tristan Tate on becoming a listed billionaire. Whatever that means. The problem is, I think to become whatever he listed billionaire, I think you have to disclose your financials. And I'm not sure that either of these people want to do that.
What Andrew and I are doing behind the scenes is planning and orchestrating the mother of all comebacks.
They're like, hey man, you need to put your mic closer to you. That's the kind of mic you have. It needs to be closer. He's like, what if you just put a second one?
You see, Andrew and I have been working tirelessly, 15 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're smart enough and perspicacious enough, you have seen us in all these various countries. The reason is that the mother of all comebacks are coming. Andrew and I are going to be famous and important and influential for other reasons than running our emergency meeting podcast. Andrew and I, within
my big brother and I are going to be famous.
Should be listed billionaires. Andrew and I should have vindicated and cleared our names entirely, despite the fact that everyone already knows that case that the Romanians tried against me was bullshit. And Andrew and I are going to become far more important in the realms of pop culture and global culture than we
All right, man. Sure. Cool. You get them. You tell them. You tell them.
Were before. Make no mistake, our global influence is soon going to be bigger than ever before. And I thought, I don't have time to sit here and have 25 Twitter debates. When I'm on my laptop, I'm doing something more important. I'm in a Zoom meeting with 6 billionaires organizing a global takeover. What are my upcoming plans for 2026? I'm covering a few things here. 2 truths and a lie. How about that? I'm going to become a billionaire, net worth, again, like I was before this whole legal debacle. I'm going to get heavily involved in politics, and I'm going to start a matrix attack proof bank. There's 2 truths and a lie for you.
2 truths and a lie. It doesn't mean 3 lies. So he's going to become a billionaire? Probably not. He's going to get heavily involved in politics. I don't know. He lives in America now. I think they're in Florida, so they could run for office in Florida. I'm going to start a matrix proof bank. I think that's called a rug pull. And I think that's probably true. Actually, he's going to do a rug pull for sure. Well, that was just over 2 hours, which is sort of where we were at for a while. I was very upset at some of the news this week. I would apologize, but I think I have nothing to apologize for, actually. I think all of you who put these things in the Discord, actually, you are the ones who owe the world an apology, not me. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out during the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast portion of the show, there's a whole rest of the show coming up later after the break here. During Red Light, we have something that Trump posted. We got Jake Lang goes to public comment in Frisco, Texas, and then, strangely enough, San Francisco. And then Jake Lang goes on Goyam TV, and boy, howdy did I have to drop this into a video editor to bleep out some fucking slurs. We got Mike Pillow lost $400 million due to political persecution, and he's asking Daddy Trump for some of that fucking slush fund money. We got Alex Jones kicking it old school with some chemtrails content. And then the very last thing on the docket is something that I assume everybody knows is on my docket this week, because of course it is. So, yeah, if you're listening on the podcast, check out the show live sometime, 7 p.m. Pacific here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. We're also live in the evenings, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and some Catterdays. Also some Tuesday mornings. The Media Wench does the Shasta County Board of Supervisors, and that generally starts around 9 a.m. Pacific. If you're watching live, you know the drill. Just stick around. I'm going to change the color of the lights in here, and I'm probably going to pour a strong beverage. This is Boomers by Periscope, and I'll see everybody after the break.